The SA Reserve Bank just dropped the repo rate by 0.25% or 25 basis points to now 7.25%. You will know that before this drop, the repo rate was currently sitting at 7.5%, and now after this 0.25%, it is now sitting at 0.25%. This is what the banks will be getting in terms of interest rates when they are lending or when they are loaning money from the Reserve Bank. You'll know that the Reserve Bank lends money to, of course, the banks that we use, your Absa, Standard Bank, and the others. And the banks now then gives us the prime lending rate, which the minimum prime lending rate for consumer like me and you, it's now sitting at 10.75%. Before it was at 11%, and now if you are to go and negotiate to a bank and get roughly around that 10.75%, you will be getting a very good interest rate, because that is actually where the prime lending for consumers is currently sitting at. So this is what we are reading today. But of course, if you have a look at the general comments made by the governor, Mr. Kganyago, you will notice that there is still a concern of the geopolitical tensions. Yes, there's been some progress made, but the SA Reserve Bank is still very cautious of what will happen or what might happen in the future, because of these geopolitical tensions that have risen. The amount of money, or the economy, the global economy, it's expected to, of course, see a drop in terms of the economic growth, which is something that he noted. And he said, of course, they need to act cautiously, or they need to take caution of that and make sure that as they are adjusting the monetary policy, they adjust it in line and of what is actually happening. Yes, inflation, it's very low. It's lower than the lower guidance by the SA Reserve Bank, which is 3%. But because of the geopolitical tensions, because of the global tensions that are still happening, though they are a bit at ease, he said this needs to make them, or this makes them to have to add with caution when they are adjusting, of course, interest rates, because if they do it harshly, then the impact that will come if tensions are to escalate, then it will be way more in a way that it hurts our economy so bad. So already economies all over the world, they are not expected to do that much, because you will know that the strongest economy, which is the US, has imposed or has been imposing tariffs all over the world. In fact, I think around March, the US President Donald Trump imposed 10% tariffs on all of the countries that are doing business with the US, right? And this is making, or this makes even our countries to have that 10%. Then on over and above that, there was 30% that we got, which is now currently put to hold together with other countries, right? They were quite number. I think China got 34%, and other countries, I think like Lesotho, got like over 40%. And now all those tariffs or additional tariffs over the 10% have been put to hold, and this is until the next 3 months. Trump said these 3 months countries are supposed to come and negotiate with the United States of America. And looking at where we at with the US, I suppose this of course might not be, or the tariffs, if they are to come back, they won't be get to that 30%, looking at where we are sitting at with the United States of America. So this is what we read today. This is what we are seeing in terms of interest rate decision made by the Fed. This is good news to the SA consumers, right? I mean, it's always good, because those people or that were struggling paying their debts, right now they are going to have the banks recalculate, and they are going to get a lower installment on their loans. I mean, I did say personally that on the loans that I have, I prefer keeping my installments where they are or increasing, because I want to, of course, finish my loans as soon as possible. But of course, this goes or differs from person to person, and some of the people actually, they would prefer their installments to be reduced, so that at least they can have additional money to do some of the things, to invest, to save, to maybe try to patch some other gaps in their lives, which is actually also not a bad choice at all, right? I mean, it differs from person to person. which goes with the kind of commitments that you have financially, which for me, like I said, I don't prefer my installments to be decreased, but rather to be kept at where they are, so that at least I can finish my loan pretty fast, right? So yeah, man, this is what we received today. This is what we read. This is what the SA Reserve Bank announced. I think South Africa will take this, man. And I mean, it's been crazy, right? I mean, remembering that back in 2022, what led into the SA Reserve Bank to increase interest rate so high, it was the cost of living, which hit a high of around 7.8% back in 2022. Seeing that figure, or the cost of living figure, which was at 7.8% back in 2022, it's now below 3%. I think it's always good, right? It's just that because of the geopolitical tensions, they cannot aggressively drop interest rates, right? But let's wait, let's see. Hopefully things get better with time, even the geopolitical tension get to ease, and we finally get to see the SA Reserve Bank may be a bit aggressive in terms of dropping interest rates. So yeah, man, I just thought I'd give you this quick update. Tell me what you think about this. I think this is good news, like I said, to South Africans, and people are gonna love this, or people are liking this already. The reactions that we are seeing from the streets of social media of the people that have read or they have seen the news, it's good, positive sentiment. It's positive vibes, right? Everyone is happy that at least interest rate has come down. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. This is the kind of content that I give you here on a day to day. I mean, to investors who are investing in stocks, it's always good to the companies that are listed, because then the repayment on their loans get to go down. They can be able to reprioritize their funds to obviously other business ventures or other opportunities that can make their companies grow. And when their companies grow, we know the share price also will grow. So this is also good to investors investing in the stock market. This is just so good, which is the reason why you would see that the JSE Top 40 actually, it's on the rise. It's up over 1%, which is great. Tell me what you think about this. I'll see you on the next one. That's all from me, and God bless you all.
Against this backdrop, the MPC decided to reduce the policy rate by 25 basis points with effect from the 30th of May. 5 members favored this action, while 1 preferred a cut of 50 basis points. While the inflation outlook appears benign, we considered an adverse scenario which illustrates the upside risks. This was based on a global slowdown triggered by escalating trade tensions where the rand depreciates sharply. The scenario showed how a country with some fundamental vulnerabilities like South Africa risks stagflation, with growth moving lower while inflation rises due to currency weakness.